Alright, today we'll be talking about subtraction of decimal values. We have some examples from A to D. Let's start with example A. So just like we said, 1.2041 minus 0.111. Now draw your horizontal line as we did earlier in the addition. Now we'll start from the right hand side just as before. So there is nothing here, so we will say this is 0. So 1 minus 0 is what? 1. Just like saying 1 minus nothing. 4 minus 1, 3. Now 0 minus 1 is impossible. So what you do, you go to the neighbor close to 0 so that is 2. So you borrow 1. If you borrow 1 from 2, it's remaining 1. Do you understand? Then the one you borrowed, you add it to whatever is here. So you have 1 and 0. That is 10. So 10 minus 1 is what? 9. Then the remaining one here, 1 minus 1 is what? 0. Then your full stop at the border. Then 1 minus 0 is 1. It's just saying 1 minus nothing. Also 1 plus nothing is 1. So I hope you get that. So let's continue with example B. But before I continue, let me say something. When you are subtracting and the number at the top is smaller than the number at the down, like what we did here, we borrowed 1 from the neighbor and added it to this. That gave us 10. So imagine you have a 2 here. That will be 12. I hope you get that. So the second question, we have 100.49 minus 2. Now you'll be thinking, where do we write our 2? 2 is a 1. It's under 1 column in the place value. So this is our 1s, our 10, our 100. So we'll place it here 2. And since there's no point, we can just dash it a point. Say 0.00 because it's the same thing as 2. I hope you understand that. The 0 is insignificant. So we start from the right. 9 minus 0, saying 9 minus nothing is what? 9. 4 minus 0 is same thing as 4 minus nothing. That's 4. You are at the border, you place your what? Full stop or your period. Then now you have 0 minus 2. Clearly impossible. So you come here. Can you borrow anything from 0? No, because it's empty. So let's come to 1. Can we borrow something from 1? Yes, we can borrow 1. When we borrow 1, we are left with 0. Bring it to the next neighbor. That will be 10. But we are not at the place where we need it. So we borrow 1 from this 10. And we are left with what? 9. Then we have our 1 here. So 10 minus 2 will give you what? 8. You can do that. 10 minus 2 give you 8. So you are left here with what? 9. 9 minus nothing will give you what? The same 9. 0 minus 0 will give you nothing. So there's no need to put a 0 here. I hope you understand that. Now taking a look at example C. 7897.9178 minus 10. You remember what I said? Instead of writing just 10, you can put your full stop or your period and add the zeros complementing the values above. is still the same thing as 10. 0 is nothing. So with your horizontal line drawn, let's start from the right. 8 minus 0, you get what? 8. 7 minus 0, you get what? 7. 1 minus 0, you get what? 1. 9 minus 0, you get what? 9. At the border, put your period. 7 minus 0, you get what? 7. Then 9 minus 1, you get what? 8. 8 minus nothing, you get what? 8. 7 minus nothing, you get what? 7. So this minus 10 equals this. I hope you. Okay, let's take a look at the fourth question. We have 0.21168 minus 0.010, 0.010. So we can just dash these two empty spaces with zeros. So with your horizontal line drawn, you start with the right hand side. 8 minus 0, you get what? 8. Remember, it's just like 8 minus nothing. So 6 minus 0, you get what? 6. 1 minus 0, you get what? 1. 1 minus 1, you get what? 0. Just saying 1 minus, you have one hamburger and you ate one hamburger. What do you have left? Nothing. So 2 minus 0, 2 minus nothing is what? 2. 0 minus 0 is 0. Nothing minus nothing is 0. I hope you get that. Okay, let's look at an odd situation here, whereby most of the top here are greater than the below, and you have to subtract. Now let's start from the right. 1 minus 8 is impossible because 1 is smaller and 8 is bigger. You cannot see 8 in 1. So what do? We borrow from the next one, from 3 here. So if we borrow 1, note you are always borrowing 1. If you borrow 1 from 3, you are left with what? 2. Then the 1 comes here and you have 1, 1, which is what? 11. 11 minus 8, count that and you get a what? You guessed right, 3. 2 minus 6 is impossible. So what do? You borrow 1 from 3 here. Then you are left with 2 here. Then you add the 1 you borrowed here. So you have 1, 2, that is 12. 12 minus 6, you get that? 6 period at the border. Then 2 minus 5 is impossible. So you borrow 1 from the neighbor here, 1. So once you borrow 1 from 1, you are left with what? 0. Add your 1 to the 2. So you have 12 minus 5, which is what? 7. So 0 minus 2 is impossible. So you have to borrow 1 from 2. You'll be left with 1 here. Add your 1 to this 0. That will be 10. 10 minus 2 is what? 8. Then 1 minus 1 is what? 0. You don't need to write that. So this minus this is left with this. I hope you get that. Alright, let's take a look at another odd situation. We have 0.4 minus 1. So like I said, we can add a period here and add a 0. It's still the same thing as 1. 1.0 is the same thing as 1. So let's begin from the right hand side. 4 minus 0 is what? 4. Remember, it's just 4 minus nothing. So 0 minus 1 what do we do? It's impossible. So if you are at this situation where there is no neighbor, this is the end of the road and there is no neighbor to borrow, you put what you have here. Since this is a 0, you put what you have here as -1. I will give you a second example whereby this is not 0. Alright, take a look at this example, 2.4 minus 5.1. Now let's start normally from the right hand side. So 4 minus 1 is what? 3. You are the border, put your period. Now 2 minus 5 is impossible and you don't have a neighbor to borrow from. So what do? At this point whereby you don't have a neighbor and the value is small, what you do? Instead of saying 2 minus 5, you say what? 5, what is underneath, minus what is on top. So 5 minus 2 is what? 3. Then you put your negative sign. You put your negative sign at every point you cannot borrow from a neighbor and the value of the top is bigger than the down value. I hope you get that.